Here's Kier Starmer, or Mr Roboto, as I prefer to call him, due to his amazing ability to try and simulate human life but not quite achieve it. Here's Kier Starmer trying to steal a march on reform. Migrants must learn our language under Starmer's immigration crackdown. Having been wiped out in large areas of the country and having council seats, well, decimated would be a polite way of putting the results. Keir seems to now be going on a rip of trying to be tougher than Reform and trying to steal some of their thunder. So let's have a look at this. Keir Starmer has pledged that immigrants will be made to commit to integration and improve their standard of English if they want to settle in the UK as part of Labour's new immigration crackdown. What does commit to integration actually mean, Keir? It's one of those vague phrases that could mean anything. If you mean that they must learn about English culture and so on, that's already part of the citizenship test anyway. Under the changes due to be outlined in a white paper on Monday, immigrants will have to wait up to 10 years before they can apply for residency, unless they can prove a lasting contribution to the British economy. Oh, I see. So if they have enough money, they can bung the government some cash and they'll be allowed in anyway. That's what that would seem to translate to me. Care worker visas are set to be halted altogether, and care homes will be instead be encouraged to train and hire people already in the UK. Good luck with that. Migrants arriving on skilled worker visas face tighter rules and will need to have a graduate qualification or a higher salary to be eligible, and they'll still turn up anyway. Keir has just tried to nick a bit of reform's thunder in case come 10 months or a year in the future, when we have more local elections, he has another disaster on his hands. Because if it happens again, that will be the end of him, and he knows it. He's already had loads of MPs rebelling about benefit cuts, winter fuel cuts. He's already disappointed and angered a huge number of people. And although he started this government with a huge majority, that majority is slowly being eroded by people either leaving, retiring, or moving on. And I could see at some point there will be a sort of palace rebellion inside the Labour Party. Starmer will use a speech on Monday ahead of the White Paper's launch to promise that these tough new reforms will ensure the immigration system is controlled, selective, and fair. This is a clean break from the past and will ensure that settlement in this country is a privilege that must be earned, not a right. And when the people come to our country, they should also commit to integration and to learning our language. Which language, Keir? The UK has a number of official languages. There are a number of official languages throughout different regions of the UK. Labour's plan to cut immigration, quicker deportation of foreign criminals. The Home Office will be given new powers to streamline the deportation of foreign criminals. Ministers will now be notified of all convictions involving foreign nationals in the UK, rather than only those with a custodial sentence of over 1 year. Foreign nationals with criminal records overseas may also face removal. Short-term visa holders can now have their visas cancelled or be blocked from future applications. Restrictions on care worker visas. The care worker visa for overseas recruitment will be closed. Employers will be expected to hire from within the UK, either from among British citizens or foreign workers already have a visa. See, the problem is there's already a heck of a lot of foreign workers who already have a visa, and of course the employers will probably tend to want to hire them. One, they're probably more experienced anyway. Two, persuading British people to do these jobs is going to be interesting. Tighter rules for skilled worker visas. Eligibility for skilled worker visas will now require a graduate level qualification or a higher salary threshold. Access to lower skilled roles will be restricted. There will only be. Can people please edit things? They will only be available. This is what happens when people use AI or just rely on word processors and don't proofread. Will only be available in sectors listed as critical to the UK's industrial strategy. Training British workers. Employers in high migration sectors will have to invest in UK-based training before recruiting from abroad. Sectors set to be targeted include IT, telecommunications, and engineering. Yes, but at the same time, Keir is letting Indian workers come here who won't be paying NI for, I believe it was 3 years. And what industries do you think Indians often work in? I'll give you a clue. The letter I and the letter T are in there. Crackdowns on visa overstayers, longer permanent residence wait, English language tests. Well, that's good for me. I'll just start as an English language teacher. I'll start sort of like advertising to do them all, train them all for English language. Work visa applicants must now meet an English standard equivalent to A level. That should be interesting. As a follow up, I'll put up the A level curriculum or A level equivalent English. That should be fascinating. The requirement also applies to adult dependents. A level English would be quite a high level. In any case, this does seem to be Keir attempting to steal Reform thunder and look like he's quashing immigration and quashing this inflow of people coming to the country. Whether it works or not, and whether Keir can make it work, that's another matter. I suspect we'll get one of his ringing Mr. Roboto speeches in a few days, where data from Star Trek looks a model of warmth and conviviality by comparison.